Hi, a lot of you have been asking me to share some hairstyling tips with you. I'm not really a hair guru, but I do have a few simple hairstyles that I use day to day for taking the kids to school, for when I'm hanging out with my friends, or simple work function events that I can handle myself. And I just want to share these tips with you. Also, I'm going to be trying different sunglasses and glasses with the hairstyles that I'm going to do today. And also, I'm going to share with you how those glasses can complement different face shapes. So this is pretty much my hair when I wake up in the mornings. My hair is quite straight and it's quite coarse. I have a lot of hair, so it's quite thick. After giving birth to Jamie, I did have a bit of postpartum hair loss. So you can see it all growing back here, and it's a little bit buffy. There's a bit of volume, but it's also quite hard to control. So I'm gonna start off with the first simple hairstyle, which is straightening your hair. Basically, how you part your hair really affects your face shape. I personally like the bun part, which is the middle part in right smack bang in the center, because I feel like it gives you a very cool and stylish look. For those of you who have very fine and thin hair, bun parting might not be the best option because it really flattens your hairstyle. And also for those of you who have a longer, elongated face shape, bun parting will only make your face look a bit longer. For all other face shapes, I think middle parting works quite well. But if you like a feminine look, you can go for the side parting. So today I'm going to show everyone center parting right in the middle. To get the perfect straight hairline smack bang in the middle, you can put your brush top of your nose like this, a pointy brush, or sometimes I use the end of my makeup brushes if you don't have a brush like this or a comb like this. And then you work your way up to find the middle of your hairline, and you make sure you have it really straight. So slowly part it like so. Tie some of your hair up so you can actually straighten it layer by layer. So what I normally do is I kind of tie it up this much so I can straighten the bottom parts of my hair first, like this. Before you straighten, you should always brush your hair to make sure it's nice and smooth and straight. I don't think you need to worry too much about the bottom layer because ultimately it'll be covered by the top layers, but just to kind of smoothen it out and also to have your ends going in the same direction. Straighteners work better when your hair is completely dry. It gives a better finish. Okay, so it doesn't have to be dead straight at the end, because what happens, especially with mid-length hair, is that it kind of like pokes your shoulder if it's too straight. So I like to give it a little bit of a curved finish down the bottom like this. Another tip from my hairdresser is not to start right at the top, because if you start too high at the top, you flatten the volume close to your scalp. So you end up with a really flat finish, which makes your hair look really flat. It's actually quite difficult to straighten the back of your hair, but I'm sure with more practice, it will be easier. So for me, I just go with the flow. You can feel whether you're pulling it straight down. So the final layer is the layer that everyone's gonna see, so we have to give it a little bit more attention to detail and make it nice and smooth. My hairdresser has given me a tip. Use a brush or use a comb, hold it here, top like this, and then you straighten and brush as you go. If you have little kinks in your hair, you can just quickly straighten it like this, and then it will smoothen it out. Finally, to touch up, you can add a little bit of product to your hair to make it neater and cleaner. So I'm gonna add a little bit of oil. You can actually use a bit of coconut oil or olive oil at the ends to make it look less dry, and then just hairspray at the top to finish. So when I put on hairspray, because I don't need a lot of hairspray on the top of my head, what I like to do is I like to spray it on my hands and then kind of smoothen it like this. Because if you're not good with controlling your hairspray, you end up having blotches of hairspray in your hair, and some parts of it would be like really hard and some parts of it would not be covered with hairspray. Voila! Straight hair! When you have straight hair, it's a very clean finish. So you don't want anything too fancy as a pair of glasses when you have very straight, clean hair. It also elongates your face, so you don't want anything too wide. If you have a pair of glasses that are too wide, it will kind of affect your hairstyle as well. So something like this, just two sides of your temple with a rounded finish, so it's not too heavy and big. And I love the Momo design, the arms of the sunglasses. They're very chic and they're super comfy because they're not too tight. So this is something I would go for with this hairstyle. So from your straight hair, whether it's center parting or side parting, another really quick change hairstyle that you can turn this one into would be a low ponytail, which gives you a very classy and very clean finish. So the trick to this hairstyle is pretty much which position you have your ponytail. You don't want it too high up. You don't want it down here because your ponytail will kind of stick out. You want it nice and low and close to your neck as possible to give it a very chic finish. So basically, really easy. Don't flatten too much of your hair here. From front on, as you can see, the hairstyle is pretty much done, but there's another very important point you need to remember when you do a low ponytail is the side view of your hair. This part here at the back of your head can't be too flat. So you need to make this a little bit more buffier. And how we can do that is simply use a brush. If you've seen a lot of my IG photos, you might have realized that I really like this bum part, very clean, low ponytail look because I feel like it's very timeless, it's elegant, it goes with a lot of outfits and it shows quite a lot of your face and your jawline, so it gives you a very fresh, very clean look. My choice for sunglasses with a hairstyle like this would be something that is also very classic, like this pair of Maserati eyewear. It's an aviator shape, so that's something super timeless. It's got a black metal frame with black lenses, so it's understated but very cool and chic at the same time. The third hairstyle I'm going to show you is very natural waves with the mid-length hair. This is one of my favorite hairdos, but it's also the most difficult one, especially with hair texture like mine, because it's slightly frizzy and I have very coarse hair. So when I try to add waves into my hair, sometimes it's a little hard to control. So make sure your hair is nice and straight and clean like so. You can't start off with very frizzy and messy hair. First of all, you have to tie your hair up and do it in 3 different layers. So this is the bottom layer, and all you need to do for the bottom layer is to just kind of do a little bit like this. Make sure it's not too curled up like this. Now the next layer, 去到中段屈入去，拉，跟住去到尾，我發出嚟。You would want the curl to start off here, around your jawline, this position here, rather than up here, because if you start off too high up, you'll end up with really buffy hair, especially if you do so many layers. So this height for the curl is the way to go. Now for the final layer, you might like to just leave the fringe for the last bit. The fringe really affects the total finish of your wavy hairstyle. So for this particular hairstyle, I like side parting because it's more feminine. It gives you more texture and layer on this side. You just need to add a little bit of product. It could be mousse or it could be a little bit of gel. And just toss your hair around like this naturally. And all the frizziness here, again with the spray. So just a little bit of wave, not too much for the mid-length hair. Looks natural and not too done up and not too puffy. So if you guys are wondering what tongs I'm using this hair straightener by GHD. It's the Platinum Plus, so it's very good for straightening your hair or doing curls for mid-length hair. If you have longer hair, I would recommend you to use round tongs because it gives you a nicer and bigger curl. So with this, I have picked this pair of sunglasses by Momo Design. I really like the shape of this frame because it's quite unique. And also it's like a statement pair of glasses, but nothing too in your face. Because this hairstyle is slightly more puffy and more feminine, it's got more volume. You don't want something that is too big and too extravagant. It will just make you look more mature. So something simple, very streamlined, and very chic like this. Last hairstyle is a half bun on top of your hair. This is my favorite hairstyle lately because it's so easy and it just takes all the hair off my face. So it's not messy, it's not hard to handle, especially when I'm running around with my boys. But there are a few important tips with a half bun. So with the half bun, you can start off with just washed and dry hair. It could be a little bit frizzy, a little bit messy. That's not a huge problem. So your first step is, how much hair should I tie up? Start from the top of your ear. I like to use my thumb and go half, like so. Or maybe just a little bit less than half. The next important tip is, where should you place your half bun? So right now it's a bit too high. It's like sitting right on top of your head. Just a little bit lower, right here in the back of your head, around this position. So you can actually just leave it as a half ponytail like so, but I would recommend you to have wavy hair when you do this, so there's some sort of texture with your half ponytail like so. If you have super long hair and you keep it straight, it just looks really dead and flat. So it's nice to have a bit of wave. If you have mid-length hair, I think this is also quite cute. But you can also tie your hair in a bun. Okay, so you just wrap it around like so. Just to pin it in like this. Super nice and simple. Now we've got to fix the front of this hairdo. This is my half bun. As you can see, I have left the bun kind of a little bit messy. You don't need to have it super clean. So a little bit of texture, just secure it with a hairpin so it doesn't kind of fall apart. That'll be good. As you can see, I have a lot of regrowth or little baby hairs coming back out. The reason why I like this hairdo is because it's so simple and it allows your hair to be messy and frizzy, like so. If you find it a bit too frizzy, you can kind of get a little bit of spray to hold it a little bit. But you do need the baby hair or the little messiness at the front to finish the look. Voila! This is like the simplest and the most forgiving hairdo. I know for work this might be a little bit too casual, but for the weekend, off duty, if you're looking after the kids or if you're just going to the gym, this is the perfect hairdo that you can do in 5 minutes. So this is a super casual hairstyle, and maybe on your off-duty days you don't want to wear your contact lenses to give your eyes a break. Something like this pair of frames would be perfect, or it could simply be there to kind of cover your eye bags. I think you should have something with a bigger kind of frame size. It'll give that cooler, more fashionable look. So there you have it, some tips for my 4 latest favorite hairstyles. I hope it has helped you guys, and I hope you enjoyed my vlog. See ya!